So hi guys, welcome back to today's video. So today's topic will be about 5 secrets to making a ton of money. So I'll be going over the things that you can do to make a ton more money than the average person. So when I talk about a ton of money, I don't mean 100,000 or 200,000 a year, because I want all of us to be able to strive towards bigger dreams and aim towards earning up to 500,000 a year or even $1 million a year. So the concept that I go over in this video are concepts that you can implement them right away. You can think about how to implement them in your life, in your business, in your work, to whatever that you're doing in your life right now. So the first secret that I have for you guys is listen to somebody who makes the money that you want to make. So I want to repeat this again because this is essentially the most important part of this entire video. So listen to the people who make the money you want to make and live the kind of lifestyle that you want. So this advice may sound so simple, but a lot of people tend to neglect this simple secret that should be implemented in their life. So a lot of people tend to take their financial and career advice from someone who might just be drowning in their life, or they might not even know how to properly manage their finances, or they might be lost in life and have no goal or have no idea what they're doing in their life. If you listen from someone who even has different life priorities than you, your life might work out differently. So don't listen to somebody who is working in a job that they hate, or working in a job that they complain about on a daily basis. And then when they tell you that, things like don't waste your time to start a business, don't waste your time to go and look for another second source of income, the market is so competitive, you can fail, it's so risky, why would you want to waste your time? There are so many negative comments that people can give you. So don't get me wrong, I don't mean that you should put your friends and families down and don't listen to their advice at all. But you shouldn't just listen to their advice because there are people close to you. So the reality is, if you want to live the life that your friends or your family are living, you want to have the kind of income that they're living, then go ahead and sort of listen to their advice and emulate what they're doing in their life. But if you want to be different and make more money, you must listen to the people who are already making that kind of money that you want to make and already living the kind of lifestyle that you want to have in the future. So for example, if you want to make $1 million a year, you should look at the people who are already making $1 million in a year and try to learn from them and see what are they doing differently that makes them allowed to earn this extra income more so than the average person. So if you look at somebody who is making that kind of money, even if it's in another industry, there tend to be commonalities that you can pick up, that you can put it into your own life. So not only does this apply to income, it also applies to lifestyle in general. Because some people might say that, I don't really want to earn that much money, I just want to make enough, but I want to spend my time doing something I like. So go ahead. So let's say you want to have your own cafe, you want to be a barista in that cafe. Yes, you might not be making millions, billions a year, but as long as what makes you happy, you can go ahead and do it. But when you want to do it, learn from someone who is already successful in the industry. Look towards someone who have been in the industry and have the experience and status where they are today to show you how they got there. So vice versa, if you want to be an accomplished banker, for example, then you should look at accomplished bankers that are already in the financial industries right now and learn from them. So the second big secret that I have for you guys is don't reinvent the next big thing. So what I mean by that is that you don't have to come up with something completely new. Personally, this is something that I struggle with myself as well, because what I mean is that a lot of us tend to overthink and we feel that in order to make more money, we have to be the next Steve Jobs, we have to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, we have to build the next Facebook or Google to be able to make more money. But in reality, you don't have to be so different and completely create something new to be able to stand out for others. So for me, it was sort of that rebellious behavior that I had back then, was that I wanted to be something different. I wanted to do something that nobody else was doing because I believed that I had to do something special in order to get better results than everyone else. While it's true that having these kind of mindsets can help, for example, you will tend to put in more effort and work harder in trying to be different from others, but you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself just to aspire to be the next Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. So it comes to a point of time where you realize that you don't really have to reinvent something and create something completely new, but you should work on proven strategies that consistently show that you can generate results. So, and that is why you have books, videos, podcasts, interviews of successful people that teach you how to get where they are, and you can learn and emulate from them. So the third secret that I have is make sure whatever that you're doing is scalable. So this is something that you have to understand and really implement in your life quickly if you want to be able to consistently generate a higher income. So otherwise, you'll definitely hit a ceiling and be capped at how much you're making. Because it's usually that it's not that you're doing something wrong in your life. A lot of people are actually doing a lot of good things and right things in their life. It's just that there are things that they are not doing. And that's the key difference to segregate you from the average others. So that's why it's important to have systems to put in place for you to scale your business up, regardless of how many hours you work. So for example, in your own business, beyond a certain point of time that you do everything on yourself, you eventually have to leverage on someone else's knowledge, time, effort and skills and even their money to be able to form a team and make more money than how much you're currently making on your own. That's an inevitable process in life. So there's only so many things that you can do on your own, which is why that I always advocate this concept that don't get paid based on your time, because everyone only has 24 hours a day. So no matter how hard you try and work and how many hours you try to extend your working hours to, it eventually reaches a point of time where you just can't increase it anymore. That's why it's important that to look around at the successful people around. And many of them earn from earning 10,000 a year to 50,000 a year to 100,000 a year to $1 million a year, not by working more hours, but instead by putting in more effort, and they might even be working less hours because they just figured out a way to scale their business and use this important word called leveraging on things to make their business grow so that the system is always in place and they don't have to be there all the time. So the fourth secret that I have is do what you love. I know this sounds like a very super cheesy thing that everyone says and all the motivational quotes on social media says, but the harsh reality is that it's true. Because when you do what you love, eventually you will tend to like what you're doing more and put in more effort. If you look around at successful people around, the commonality between them is that they usually love what they're doing, and that's why they stand out among others. They might not be the brightest person out there, but they are the one that love what they're doing the most. So naturally, when you love your job, you will be having more fun and it will be essentially more like a paid hobby. So if you think about it, let's say you're an extrovert and you thrive in an environment where you have to meet people, talk to different people and socialize, you are eventually going to do better in the front office role than the back office role and vice versa. So of course I understand that there's not going to be a job that you completely and absolutely love everything about it, but at least try to be in an industry or be surrounded in an environment that you at least have a passion in and at least you like. So that way when you love what you do, you will be more motivated and you're going to be working harder. And when you work harder, eventually you're going to produce greater results. And at the same time, even when results aren't that great, you have the motivation to push yourself through because you understand that these long hours are actually what you like. And you will do that to eventually get to a point of time where you will really succeed at what you're doing. So a realistic way of implementing this in your life would be to find something you love and slowly build on that and turn that into a second source of income in the future. It might take months or years for it to actually come into shape, but when you are doing that as something you like, it will be like you're trying to make your hobby into a second source of income. So that way you have more motivation to at least try to build another source of income. So the last secret that I have for you guys is to have patience. So to tie everything together, at the end of the day, after implementing all the 4 steps that I previously mentioned, the last step will be to have patience. None of this happens overnight and neither does success. So although it's a simple concept that everyone says you should be patient and wait, many people think that they understand it, but it's not that easy to implement it into our daily lives. Always remember that everyone has a different timeline in their life and you don't have to follow and stick to someone's timeline because they tell you that this should be the way to go about it. Instead, you should focus on putting in your best effort and eventually you'll be able to reap the benefits that you sow. So don't stop what you're doing and hop onto another bandwagon just because your friend might be doing better in the industry. So if you're able to stay disciplined and have patience in whatever you do, be it in your business or investments or personal relationships and eventually your life, your rewards will ultimately be rewarded. So with that being said, we have come to the end of this video and I wish everyone good luck and success in whatever they are doing, and I hope to see you all in the next video. So please do leave a like and subscribe to our channel and leave a comment down below for any comments you have. So thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video. Bye bye.